engaged. I think by the time this video comes out it would have been a couple of weeks ago, but as of the day of recording this I've been engaged for 4 days. Yeah, exciting times. So I thought I'd make a separate video on how Sam and I actually got engaged, as well as a little bit about Sam and how I met him. Sam and I met through a mutual friend of ours. He used to work with my friend Jack and I went to university with Jack. So one day Jack tried to invite us to one of those Facebook chat games, and it wound up creating a group chat with both Sam and I in, and we basically just started talking from there. It's a really boring way of being introduced to your future fiancé slash husband, but that's how we met. Sam and I, we spoke on Facebook for a little while before he eventually added me and we began chatting on our own. Fast forward to June 24th, 2017, I threw a barbecue. I had a really rough start to the year, so I wanted to just kick off summer and just really reconnect with some old friends, have a good time and just make some new ones. Sam was invited to the barbecue and that was the day we met in person officially. And I always say that I can't remember the last time I'd laughed so hard. It sounds kind of sad, but oh my god, he's so funny. I remember my friend Lily stayed over that night and I couldn't shut up about how funny Sam was. I don't know, he made that barbecue so much more fun, which sounds kind of silly, but it's very true. He just really made the night. He really saved it. So from then on, Sam and I started hanging out more. We started going out together. We took his puppy Rue on walks together. Fast forward again to July 10th, 2017. That was the night Sam and I decided we were officially a couple. We decided we were gonna go stargazing. We went out for a meal, we bought some snacks, and then we just drove out into the middle of nowhere. I bought my huge telephoto lens and my big DSLR and my tripod, and Sam had downloaded this really cool stargazing app where you could look at the stars and it would tell you which stars you were looking at, and then it would give you a few facts about them. It was really fun. I remember that night so fondly, and I really loved it. It was a really nice night. Next 2 years have kind of been a bit of a whirlwind. At the beginning of 2018, I was very unwell. Sam stuck by me a lot through that time. He was so incredibly supportive, even though I didn't ask him to be. He was always there for me if I needed him. And even now, even though he's away, he's always just on the end of the phone if I need to call him, which I have done and will most certainly continue to do. He's so supportive, and I know it's really cliche, but he's just always there for me. And it's just really nice to have someone to just kind of go to and rely on. Sam and I spent a lot of time just sort of lounging around. We didn't really do much. I wasn't well, but he never made me feel bad for it, and even if I bring it up now, he's just so nonchalant about it, like, oh yeah, that was a thing that happened. Like, it didn't faze him. It didn't ever seem like it was a chore to date me, which sounds kind of silly, I suppose, but it's true. He never makes it seem like I'm an effort. He never makes it seem like he's going out of my way to do something for me. He just does things because he can, because he loves me and because he cares. I think that's why I love him so very much, is because I'm a very nervous person and I get very anxious about things, but when Sam's around there's just this sort of aura of calm, and everything is just, it's okay because Sam's there. In October 2018, Sam applied for the Royal Air Force to go in as a driver. That's when things started to get a bit more real. We'd spoken earlier in the year about moving in together, maybe looking at renting or buying a house, or what we were going to do with our future, because we knew that we wanted to stay together. but we didn't really know what the next steps were in regards to our relationship. But yeah, he applied for the RAF and everything sort of slowed down for a while. He was meant to start training in April, but because of a chest infection it got pushed back to July. But things sort of became a lot more real. We sort of realised, oh, actually we do want to stay together, but how are we gonna sort of manoeuvre around this? So there were a lot of long conversations about what we were gonna do, how this was gonna affect us, me as well as him, because obviously it's a 12-year commitment. It's not just a job you could just leave at any time. You can leave at certain points in your contract. You're allowed to buy your way out, but for the most part it is a 12-year commitment. So that was something that was really difficult. We spent the first half of this year sort of worrying and procrastinating and thinking about the what ifs, and if I could go back and just tell myself one thing, I'd just grab myself and I'd just shake myself and I'd just be like, don't worry, it's fine, it works itself out. He's in. He's almost completed his phase 1 training now, and this is gonna sound kind of weird, but there's a lot more support than I thought there would be. From the RAF's point of view, there are people that I could call, there are people that I can contact if I have relationship issues, you know. Even if Sam and I had an argument about the fish, you know, it can be that mundane, but I can still call someone to talk to them. It could be about serious issues, it could be about housing, it could be about money, it could be about anything. Any worries that I may have or any questions that I may have, I can call someone. And it's kind of strange seeing how different the reality is compared to what I thought it would be. I thought it would just be they dump you in the deep end and that would be it. You just sort of just flail around for a bit and you either sink or swim. Sam began his training on July the 11th, 2019, just after our 2-year anniversary. Regardless though, over all this time, I'm so proud of him. From day one, it was just this kind of awe of this guy who just had seemed to have done everything, you know. He'd gone on all these adventures, done all these things, gone traveling, had like seen the world and had come back and was finally deciding what he wanted to do with his life. And it's just so crazy that he wants to date me. Dating Sam has been so fun. I've made so many friends, I've met so many people. It's kind of crazy how our paths didn't cross sooner. I mentioned at the beginning that we met through a friend, originally Jack. But actually the more we talk, the more we realise we have a lot of like friends that cross over. So it's kind of crazy we hadn't met before, but honestly, I think we met at the perfect time. Sam's definitely made me a bit more adventurous. He's definitely made me a bit more confident. I always wanted to like do all these grand things, like go traveling, you know, be able to drive anywhere and everywhere that I want, do all these things, you know, like run my business and, you know, have the confidence to stand up to customers who aren't particularly nice to me and just generally function, I suppose. So on August the 30th, 2019, Sam came home for weekend leave. His parents were on holiday at the time and he arrived at my house at about 7 o'clock. And he was eager to go. He was like, yeah, come on, let's go, we're going stargazing, I'm taking you out, you know, I promised you I'd take you back stargazing again and we're gonna do it. So just like last time, I packed up all my things. What I did instead was I took some glow sticks and I had this idea that we were gonna like create some painting with light pictures, which we did. We spend the next hour driving out to our location. We take the same blanket, put up to the same spot, set up, and we start taking pictures. It was just like we had done 2 years ago. We were just talking and just having fun, and Sam had the app out again and was just looking at all the stars, and he tells me to stand in front of the camera. So I go and I'm messing around with the lights, I'm just drawing pictures and just whatever. Sam suddenly goes, oh no, I've dropped my phone. So I run back to the blanket and I pick up our torch and I turn around to help him find his phone, and he's on one knee and he's holding this ring, and he just says, "Will you marry me?" So I start crying and I just hug him. I don't even give him, and I'm just like, oh my god, and I'm just hugging him and I'm crying, and he's like, well, is that a yes? And yeah, we stopped taking pictures at that point because I couldn't stop shaking. I was just a complete mess. I couldn't stop staring at the ring even though we could hardly see it in the pitch black that was night. There was one star out that night. It's the star Vega, which is a blue star. I think the colour theme for our wedding will be blue, just because Sam wants to wear his uniform and because of the blue star. I know the next year isn't going to be easy. Sam still has a lot with regards to his training. He's still got a long way to go, but he's come so far already, and I can't put into words just how proud I am of just how far he's come and how much he's done. I can't wait to be his wife. Next year is going to be an exciting one. It's going to be hectic. It's going to be full on. It's going to be crazy. But it's going to be a good one.